Yeah, this is a little family cemetery. This was my great-grandmother's, I think, her maternal family. This is a lot of the Weavers, yeah. Yeah, that would make sense because obviously Glosson would be. Yeah, this right here is a family cemetery. It's just a tiny little family cemetery here in Carrboro, North Carolina. And this would have been my great-grandmother, my Granny Glosson. This would have been her maternal family right here. This is the Weaver family. And that little brick house right there across the street, I had many family Christmases there, and from the 80s to the early 90s until my great-grandmother passed away, sadly, of cancer. And she's at the this city cemetery, the Carrboro Cemetery, just down the road, actually, behind the house. But I can remember that house very, very distinctly. Well, you know, like I said, we always came for family Christmas. I remember had a little apple tree. I picked apples off the tree in that very yard. See, I don't know who was her mother, or, you know, or grandmother. Well, see, this could have been even her great-grandmother, possibly. There are some other, like the Phipps, some names that have branched off, obviously. See, that's Weld and J. Winfred Weaver. See, my great-grandmother would have been born in the early 1900s. So her parents probably would have been born in the, obviously, the later 1800s. So. But yeah, a lot of the graves are, yeah, either, you know, later 1800s or early 1900s. See, this person was born in the 1700s. Wow, see. Okay, Thomas Weaver. You know, I always wondered, you know, the Weaver Street Market, I always wondered, you know, that's a big, you know, now there's one in Hillsboro, if that had something to do with our family. I don't know. It could, you know. I mean, it's such a small world, I wouldn't doubt it. I would love to know, you know, who started it, and I could be wrong, but she was a kind and affectionate wife, a fond mother and friend to all. Wow. See, I.S. Weaver, he would have been born, he would have died, passed away right when my great-grandmother Mildred Glosson was born. See, both of my great-grandmothers on my dad's side were both born at the same time. They both were born. The one who wrote the book, How Long the Heart Remembers, about her life as a little kid growing up in the mountains of Georgia. Then they moved here. And actually, her father, my great-great-grandfather, was the mayor of Carrboro in the 1930s. So they were both born around the same time, strangely enough, and they're both buried at the same cemetery down the road in Carrboro, the bigger city cemetery. Yeah, so. Do have a lot of history in Carrboro. I mean, this is where we lived here when I was small. It's funny, you know, I was born in Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but I was just a few weeks old when we moved here, and my first years. We were here. We lived here a while, and then we moved to Texas for a couple years, and we moved back here. And so we lived in the Hillsboro and Chapel Hill area for a good while until we eventually settled in Mebane. But this is where, the family is from. A lot of history here, obviously. See, I'm not seeing, maybe her parents aren't buried here. I could be wrong. They could be at the big cemetery. My dad may know. There's a sparrow. That's funny because I see a lot of sparrows down at the other cemeteries. So I guess we're kin to some sparrows as well. And then she just passed away at the age of 2. And then I don't know what this little boxed-in area would have been. Cute little cottage-like house in the back. I like that. I do appreciate everybody joining me, and I will see you next time.